three tsunami tanks here. Are we looking at a combat from the Allies play here? I think so. Now with only 2 refinery up and with effectively no minus mining, the mining was disrupted at this location here and this refinery here. Now the Empire does really only have 1 refinery mining, and the miner just trying to sit here doing nothing, sort of. The unit production rates for both factions are effectively the same, and I would say in terms of army proficiency, or indeed engagement efficiency, is that the term? I don't know, but you get what I mean, is in favor of the Allies player here, since that his air force is very, very potent, and his ground force, although is pretty much non-existent in terms of max, but he does have the cryocopters here, which can freeze a large number of ground forces to death. And the ground of the Empire player is going to be able to do nothing, and wow, the Allies player is going to move to this location of the map, trying to freeze the MCV, I would think, of the Empire player, but he has to be careful with the position of the cryocopters, or otherwise he will be shot down by the rockets from the Striker VXs here. He doesn't really have enough number of cryocopters to freeze or indeed shrink the number of VXs that the Empire player had. So with 3 of the cryocopters shot down, now the Empire player does have a real shot of pushing into the Allies player's main base and do some serious damage here, effectively ending the game. But his army is at his main base, so it's going to take him a bit of traveling to his opponent's base, and in that time would the Allies player be able to rustle up a large enough force to hold off this attack? I don't know, but the more time that the Empire player is spending with his unit production and indeed the movement of the MCV. Where's the MCV? I'm not saying the MCV. It's been moved somewhere, I think. Very curious. Oh, was it sold? Wow, the MCV was actually sold for our Empire player. He realized his economical situation there, and he sold his MCV, trying to put out an all-in with a large insertion, is that a term? Insertion of cash, or large surge of cash into his unit production there, and he has mustered up a very, very scary army here at this phase of the game, trying to make a push into his opponent's base, effectively destroying every single structures in the Allies player main base. And we are seeing the Allies player trying to bring up a large enough force to deal with the impending attack here, but I don't think he would have enough. He only has 2 cryocopters up, and he only has 1 vindicators, but he does have the air dominance, so the Empire player will not be able to do much in terms of air-to-air combat, or indeed air-to-ground combat. And the Allies player, recognizing the fact that this location is not going to hold, he has shrunk his MCV, trying to sneak the MCV back to the main base, or indeed towards the water side, or somewhere in that direction to re-expand. So he's using this base to effectively buy himself enough time to come back from this game, while he's trying to move his MCV away out of the harm's way, and is going to bring harm to his opponents, planning to with his air force 2 of the vindicators here. And he recognizes that his opponent has sold his MCV, and he has no means of reproducing any form of the economy. He is going to move into the main base of the Empire player, trying to destroy the economy. And once the economy is destroyed, the units production of the Empire player will be completely brought to a halt, and all he has will be what we're seeing right now. And the longer the Allies player is able to hide his last building, which is most likely to be the MCV, the longer he has to engage with his air force to wear down his opponent's army to to win this game from a very dire position indeed. Or is he thinking about base trade? Well, I didn't think of that. This could be a base trade situation here if the Allies player is able to destroy this base fast enough before his opponents can find his MCV. He will be in a very good shape. He would just effectively win the game right there. But I don't think this is going to be I don't think this is going to be the case here, since that now the Allies player does not really have any unit production facilities, or in particular the air base here, and he has no ways of replenishing his army. But the VX's count for the Allies player, the Empire player here is at 4, so I think the Empire player would have enough to repel the force long enough for forces to find the MCV of the Allies player and try to destroy it. But keep in mind that in the water the tsunami tanks are not protected by the VXs there, since they are surface to air units. That's a term. Yes, surface to air units. Yes. So the two tanks trying to lock down this MCV here is going to be caught out of position by the number of forces that the Allies player does have. But I don't really think that his Vindicators has any bomb left. He has spent all of his bombs at the main base of the Empire player, so his Vindicators cannot come into play. The only thing they can come into play is a Cryocopter, but all he can do is freeze up the units, which I don't think is going to be enough for the Allies player, since the Empire player does have a large number of tanks, and the Vindicator count of the Allies player is not the Vindicator, the Cryocopter count of the Allies player is only at 1, and it does not really have a Vindicator. Now the Allies player is thinking about reproducing an airbase, I would assume, or well, if he makes a comeback from there, I would say this Allies player is officially my favorite Allies player of all time. And now with a airbase up, he's going to be thinking about reproducing a Vindicator here to give him some firepower against the ground army of the Empire player. And the Empire player not destroying this power plant here may prove to be the biggest disservice of himself, or for himself, if that's grammatically correct. And one of the Vindicators is up. Oh, this army is in grave danger.
They will answer to the Shogunate.
Now the Allies player has repaying capacity, and he also has 1 Vindicator and 1 Cryocopter up. This is going to be very potent. The Vindicators just can destroy the frozen tanks with 1 hit, and the Cryocopters, needless to say, is capable of freezing stuffs quite effectively, and without sufficient anti-air in the water, the Empire player is going to lose every single engagement if the Allies player micros correctly there. But the Allies player doesn't really have much income. How is he going to come back from this game? I don't see. But if he can just trash his army right here without any means of reproducing the units that he needs, the Empire player is going to lose this game. And the Allies player is just being very annoying here, sitting in the water trying to rebuild the base of his own and try to win the game with his 1 Vindicator, 1 Cryocopter, yes, 1 Cryocopter and 3 Apollo fighters here. And with no economy at all, the Empire player, now the Allies player is not likely to be able to come back to this game, but he is going to be able to trash this army completely if it is out of position. So we might be looking at a draw here. I don't know how else can this be turning out. But if the Alice player does try to move to this into the Empire player's main base and try to do the damage that he need to end the game, he can do so. I suppose if the VX is caught out of position and is shot down by the Apollo fighters, or indeed is not landing to do the DPSs that they need to destroy the air force of the Allies player there, and well, but the Allies player would have to be careful with his forces here. And so does the Empire player. If he's not careful, these two remaining structures can be instantly trashed by the bombing rounds from the Vindicators here, and two of the VXs was shots down. Now if the Empire player is looking to end this game, he's going to have to do it right here, right now. Otherwise, once the last structure of his own is destroyed, which is the instant generators with minimal HP, he's going to lose this game there. And the Allies player is just trying to buy himself enough time to swing between his opponent's man base and his own MCV, trying to do the damage that he needs to win this game. And one of the cryocopters, not one of the only cryocopter is trying to has shrunk the MCV here, and the cryocopter is just trying to slow down the tanks long enough for the MCV to get away. And I don't know how well would it do though. Well, one of the tanks is frozen in the water here, can be destroyed anytime by the Vindicators, but the Vindicator is running out of bombs, I would think, now that the airbase of the Allies player is not present. It's incredible this far into the game, and the game is almost as good as its only beginning. It's just as tense. I mean, oh my god. This game is just a battle of micromanagement. It's so very close. If the Allies player is able to micro his units correctly and destroy the two remaining structures of the Empire player before his MCV gets destroyed, and he would win this game with only this amount of units, which is just amazing. But if the Empire player is going to be able to continually chase down the MCV and not allowing it to establish up a airbase to refurnish the ammunition of the Vindicators here, while he's trying to trash the tanks, not the tanks, the MCV, he is going to win this game with a few tsunami tanks and a few useless VXs at the stage of the game. But the Allies players quadrocopters is just being very annoying here, and with the cover from the air, I think the Allies player would be relatively safe with this MCV now that it is shrunk and is moving quickly across the water, trying to move back to this location here and rebuild it instantly. But is he going to be caught out of position? The Empire player has to be careful with his position, with the positioning of his VXs here, and all of his tsunami tanks were just frozen in the water there, making no progress in terms of chasing down the MCV. The only units that he can use to shoot the MCV to pieces are his VXs, but the VXs are countered by the Apollo fighters in the air while they're in ground attack mode, so I don't know how well would they do. But oh, the Allies player has brought himself to a fairly unfavorable position here, with the avenue of landing zone for the VXs there. and the VX were only able to crank out a few shots to the